Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back into the video day, and today the Brooklyn Nets and Ben Simmons have agreed to a contract buyout. Three-time All-Star, 2019-20 Steal champ, and 2019-20 All-NBA player, who was also Rookie of the Year and two-time All-Defensive NBA team. Ben Simmons are agreeing to a contract buyout. Not surprising at all. 25 minutes per game this season for Ben Simmons, 33 games played, 24 starts. Ben is terrible offensively, only averaging 6 points per game, and at the free throw line is actually, it's crazy to say, at the free throw line compared to previous seasons, Ben is much better at the free throw line compared to previous seasons, shooting 70% at the free throw line, which is terrible. But you compare it to the season before. Last year in Brooklyn was shooting 40%. Year before that, shooting 44%. He's actually, this is crazy to say, but Ben Simmons is at the free throw line this year. He's still terrible at the free throw line, but this is Ben Simmons' best season at the free throw line in his career. Even when he was confident in Philadelphia and playing amazing basketball, putting up some great averages, had some years where he was averaging close to a triple-double. But in those years, never had as high of a free throw percentage as he has this year. Which is crazy to think about. But at the same time, I will say this is also the lowest amount of free throw attempts he's taken per game in a season. But his free throw percentage is better, but it's not good. But I did want to note that. So, and his field goal percentage has gone down this year. His field goal percentage is at 55%. It was 58% last year. So scoring-wise, he's an awful player. And Ben Simmons deserves all the hate he gets for how bad of a scorer he is, and how some people think he's a wussy because how easy it has been for him to get injured in years prior. But where Ben Simmons should not get hate is this: how much of an amazing passer and facilitator he is. This season, only 25 minutes per game and is averaging 7 assists per game. He's also a good rebounder. He's averaging over 5 rebounds per game this season and only 25 minutes per game, and is still good defensively. He's not as good as he was before, but still good defensively. He brings real value to a team, if you ask me. Look, I really think this: if you're gonna have teams interested in Ben Simmons. I think one of the biggest turnoffs was with Ben. You're not going to, and I think this is for many teams, it's not the player they're getting, it's the contract they're getting. The terrible $40 million contract. With this contract buyout, it's over. There's no more $40 million contract. He brings value defensively. He brings value with his facilitating and his passing and his solid rebounding. That can really help teams. Now, obviously, he doesn't bring value scoring-wise, and that is definitely not what you definitely do not want to see him shooting the basketball. But there are teams that don't need him to do that, and they could just bring him in, and maybe they need some good passing and some good facilitating and some good defense and don't need the shooting. Maybe they already have great shooting and don't need that. Like, for instance, the Cleveland Cavaliers are one of the teams that are interested in him. The Cavaliers have been one of the best three-point shooting teams in basketball this year. They don't need a shooter. They've been one of the best three-point shooting teams in basketball this year. Just traded for DeAndre Hunter, who's shooting 40% from three. They don't need shooting. So, like, the Cavs are one of the teams that are interested. Be great for them to add in a guy who is a great passer and a great defender and a good rebounder. And also would give them a potential backup center off the bench. I think that's also the intriguing thing to teams for Ben Simmons is that he can play the 1 through the 5, really. And that's an amazing thing to have in a player. But outside of his great passing and his amazing facilitating and his solid rebounding and his still pretty solid defense, he brings no other value. Now, he brings good value in those other things, but let's also not act like he's a liability when it comes to scoring and his free throw shooting. That is where he can hurt you. If there is a team that can tell Ben, We're not bringing you in so you can score. We don't want you shooting the basketball. Maybe if you have a wide open look inside the basket, throw it down, okay? You're 6'10", throw it down if you're wide open and you have no one on you. But if you're being guarded, you're an amazing passer. Go out there and find the open man. That's what we're bringing you in here. That's what we're bringing you in here for. It's your size and your amazing passing. And that's one of the reasons why I think Ben Simmons could be value to a good team. But do not let him shoot the basketball at all. And also, here's the good thing. It doesn't hurt you if he does bad. Sure, it might hurt you in that game, but if he does bad or gets injured, the experiment is over with. You're not like the Nets or the 76ers who had to just get killed by that terrible contract. The Nets had to live with that contract for 3-4 seasons and absolutely had to regret the decision of having taking on that contract in the Harden trade. And I know they are probably so thrilled that contract is finally gone. And same thing with the Sixers when they had to try to deal with getting rid of Ben Simmons and getting rid of his contract. That was a pain for both the 76ers and the Nets trying to get rid of his contract. That contract is gone now. Ben Simmons, if he signs with the Cavs, the Rockets, or the Thunder, the three teams who are interested, he's going to get 1.5, maybe $2 million. If he screws up, if he plays bad or gets injured, all you got to do is cut him. It's not difficult to cut him because he's not making $40 million anymore. Also, if you want to trade him potentially, it's not difficult to trade him anymore because you don't have to deal with that contract. If Ben Simmons had a normal contract, teams would have potentially been very interested in trading for him. They wouldn't give up much for Ben Simmons, but they would have got something for Ben Simmons at the trade deadline. I'm talking about Brooklyn, if he didn't have such a bad contract. So if you ask me, there are going to be a lot of teams that are going to be a good couple playoff contenders that are going to be interested in Ben now that contract is gone, and teams that need good passing, good defense, or good rebounding will definitely be calling Ben Simmons. But let me know your thoughts on the buyout in the comment section, and peace out.